distinguished alumnus from the Gleason College of Engineering, Jim Swift. Jim spent the past 25 years crafting creative solutions to a variety of business and community challenges. A self-proclaimed data nerd, it was Jim's passion for data and analytics, combined with his boyhood interest in sports statistics, that drove him to form Cortera, a company that provides information-centric solutions that power business-to-business interactions. Jim currently serves as president and chief executive officer of the Florida-based company, where he is passionate about finding new analytics to streamline business-to-business supply chains. Early in his career, Jim held various executive leadership positions at Seisint, a company that did data mining in the anti-terrorism information exchange space. Or as Jim puts it, it helped the good guys catch the bad guys. When Seisint was acquired by LexisNexis in 2004, Jim stepped into the role of Chief Operating Officer, where he was responsible for the unit's commercial markets. We were fortunate to have Jim return to the College of Engineering in the spring of 2013 as a featured speaker in our Dean's Alumni Speaker Series. His presentation, which was entitled Your Competitive Advantage, Data Superhero, reminded our students of the important role that data and its analysis play in engineering, and how leveraging the skills that they acquire here at RIT will give them a competitive advantage throughout the course of their careers. Jim is a true leader whose persona and achievements embody the spirit of our Distinguished Alumnus Award. His strong work ethic, his sense of humor, and his commitment to his family are truly admirable. We are truly honored to have him as a part of the RIT family. Please welcome Jim Swift.
Good morning, and congratulations to the class of 2015. It seems like it was about 5 minutes ago that I was out there myself, and then 27 years whizzed by just like that. It's been an interesting path for me since I graduated, and most people would describe it as maybe unorthodox or even strange, but I would describe it as challenging and eye-opening and overall a total hoot. But it hasn't really been anything like I thought it would be. So I thought I'd share 2 stories with you today. And after your parents hear them, they might not think I'm such a good influence on you. What I've found to be the most important factor, for me at least, in pursuing success and happiness since I've left, is to take risks. And I mean big risks. The kind of risks that other people look at me and say, what the hell are you doing? And so story number 1 is about finding out what I am not. After I graduated from RIT, or my degree in mechanical engineering, I went and I got a job as a mechanical engineer. It was logical. It seemed like what everyone else was doing. And it was pretty cool for a while. But after about a year, I got itchy. And I'm not talking about, ooh, there's a little hair in my eye itchy. I'm talking about, oh my God, there's poison ivy in my underwear itchy. And I looked around and I thought, you know what, I want to run this company. I want to be just a bench engineer here. But all I saw was layer after layer of people between me and that job. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this is going to take forever. And it dawned on me at that point that in a blink of an eye, 20 years could flash by, and I could still be there, trapped in the layers of the people. And I decided that that's not what I wanted. And so I said, it's time to take a big risk. And I, despite being crushed with student loans at the time, I decided that I was going to make people scratch their heads. And I quit. And it wasn't for another job as an engineer. I just quit. And I packed all my stuff I could fit in my car. And I moved to Florida. And I tried to make it on the PGA Tour. I was the only one in my class that did that. Some people said they admired my courage, but most people just scratched their heads and thought I was nuts. like some of your parents are probably thinking right about now. But it was a pretty awesome experience. And what pushed me to take that risk was that I didn't want any regrets. And I wanted to be passionate about what I was doing every day. You know, bursting out of your skin, excited to go to work. And I was pretty jazzed up about that idea of playing on the PGA Tour. We'll see. But I also figured, though, that I could fall back on my engineering degree if I failed. And that's what happened. I failed. I got my butt kicked. But it was still a success. And it was a success because I found that I was a lot more resourceful and prepared than I had realized. And I didn't have any regrets in doing this. And I also found that, you know, if everything goes haywire and your plans start to fall apart the way you had them laid out, and you hit the ground, you'll bounce. And that was a really important lesson for me at the time. It might sting, but you're stronger for it. My second story is more about finding out what I am. So after that golf experiment, I worked at a technology consulting company, and I started a wonderful family with my wife and kids. And along the way, I discovered something else that I was really passionate about, and that's data, solving problems with data. And the more data, the better. You know, I love data. It sounds kind of stupid to say, but I figured out I'm a data geek. The problem was I wasn't in a setting where I could really be as successful as I wanted. So at the time, my wife and I had two small kids, ages 0 and 3. And I was traveling like a dog for work. I was on the road every single week, and it was wearing me out. So one night, from yet another hotel in yet another city, I called home like I did every day, and I wished my daughter good night. And she said to me, she said, "Daddy, can you come and stay at my house this weekend?" And it was just one of those rip your face off moments. And so it was also the wake-up call that I think I needed. And it was time then to look at taking another big risk to get out of that situation that we were in. So, you know, it's one of those things to go ahead and take a risk when it's just you, but when you have a young family, the stakes are a lot higher, and it's more difficult. So we talked about it, and we agreed to go ahead and take the risk as a team and give it a year, and then reevaluate and see what would happen. So we packed all of our stuff up, and this time in our sexy minivan, and we moved of all places back to Florida, and I joined a startup data company. And the idea was to combine my passion for data and my passion for my family, and actually have a setting that balanced those. And it was a blast until the internet bubble burst, and then it kind of sucked. It was a tough time. Many companies were failing all around us, and at our lowest point, we had 350 employees, and we were 6 weeks from running out of money. So you talk about pressure. I mean, it was a galvanizing thing, and rather than quit, we circled the wagons, like the Buffalo Bills circled the wagons. And wouldn't you know it, we hit the ground and we bounced off of it, and we ended up building a really interesting company that was a big success. And while that experience was pretty scary at times, I found another passion from it, and that was startups. I discovered that adrenaline rush that you get, the sense of accomplishment that you can have in a small company, really turned me on, and I wanted more of that. So now I keep combining them, following all these passions with another data startup company, and balance with my family. And this one's a roller coaster too, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So what I found is that without taking the big risks and realizing the big rewards that you often get from those, I might still be back at my first job out of college, trapped in those layers of people, and still wondering how I was going to reach my dreams, or even what my dreams really were. So looking back, would I do anything differently? Yeah, of course I would. I'd take more risks, and I'd take them sooner. So you gotta remember that time moves fast, and I wouldn't waste a single minute of it doing something that I didn't love if I could help it. So I wish you success on your journey, and I hope you make a lot of people scratch their heads. I hope you have some fun in the process. Thanks, and good luck.